While concepts like yin and yang, the dual nature of the universe, and the idea of polarity are well known, there exists a subtler force that serves to connect and harmonize the opposing aspects. Without this third force, the universe would collapse. Frequently, we find ourselves trapped in duality, swinging between extremes, embracing one and rejecting the other. However, by transcending this duality and uniting polarities, we open the door to a different reality, one that is not defined by our position, but by a choice free from limitations. This is the threshold to the realm of wholeness. In the physical world, every manifestation requires the conjunction of three essential elements. Think of it as being in a movie theater. First, there is the film, housing the images, symbolizing imagination. Then we have the screen, where these images come to life and become visible, representing the physical world. To make all this possible, the projector comes into play, embodying the forces of desire, impulse, purpose, and action. It is the conjunction of this triad that shapes everything. The universe is a system we can describe as ternary, as it requires a minimum of 3 parts for its conception. It's impossible to form a geometric figure with only 2 vertices and edges. The most basic geometric figure is the triangle, which requires a minimum of 3 elements. The space we occupy also consists of 3 dimensions, similar to how states of matter like liquid represent a convergence between solid and gaseous states. Atoms themselves are divided into 3 types of particles: the electron with a negative charge, the proton with a positive charge, and the neutron that balances the other 2. The spectrum of light and its primary colors is also based on 3 elements: red, blue, green. The symbolism of the number 3 is intimately related to the so-called law of the triangle, extensively studied in Rosicrucian and Hermetic schools. This universal law postulates that every effect has a cause that always involves 2 conditions: an active and positive nature, and a passive and negative one. When these 2 conditions come together, they generate an effect. In other words, it postulates the existence of 2 fundamental forces: one of impulse, the active principle, yang or Shiva, which directs energy, and one of resistance, the passive principle, yin or Shakti, which executes it. Their interaction produces a third condition involving movement. This process is called tri-electric, and that's why initiatory traditions have consistently regarded the number 3 as the foundational principle of the universe. In the equilateral triangle, the pyramid, we discover complete harmony, a geometric symbol embodying the harmonious convergence of opposites and the union of opposing coincidences. This 3-pointed triangle stands as a symbol of perfect creation. It means that all cosmic events, both physical and metaphysical, are subject to this law of the triangle that governs all manifestations. Therefore, no perfect manifestation can occur unless these 2 poles, which generate a third when combined, are present. This third condition contains the qualities of the first 2, but constitutes a distinct reality. This concept is well explained in the Kybalion, where 2 important postulates are presented. The principle of polarity, which states that everything is dual, everything has 2 poles, everything has its pair of opposites. The same principle applies to emotional and mental planes. Love and hate are often considered diametrically opposed, completely different and irreconcilable. By applying the principle of polarity, we discover that there is no absolute love or absolute hate. There are many degrees of love and hate, and there is a midpoint where they seamlessly meld to the point of becoming indistinguishable. To create matter, both positive and negative elements are necessary. In the physical realm, upon closer examination, we realize that heat and cold are of the same nature, differing only in degrees. Similarly, terms like up and down are just poles of the same aspect, just as east and west, light and darkness, Orient and Occident, big and small, noise and silence. One exists because the other exists. They mutually give meaning to each other, and together form a reality that transcends their individual manifestations. The principle of gender, on the other hand, precisely emphasizes the existence of this third condition, stating that gender exists everywhere. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. The human being, as a microcosmic entity reflecting the macrocosm, possesses a dual nature, material and spiritual, making them a being of two worlds. However, in their manifestation and everyday experience, this duality becomes something more complex, revealing a trinity in their nature. In this trinity, a crucial third condition emerges, known as the anima, or soul. The soul is not only an entity that animates and gives life to the individual, it also plays a fundamental role as a bridge that connects and harmonizes the two energies that might initially seem antagonistic, the material and the spiritual. The soul acts as a link that enables the human being to integrate these two facets of their existence and find a balance between them. The harmony of these two realities and the virtuous union of these 2 points into a third represent completeness, balance, and the fulfillment of our potential.